Alright guys, said I'd do a bit of a video on basically just the 3 steps that you should follow, whether you're trend trading or whether you're trading the bias. Okay, I've got a couple of examples and they're both up to date. The new formula basically. Right, let's go on here first of all then. Right, okay, right, so the first thing, right, the first step basically to take is to identify whether you're trading the trend or whether you're trading the bias, right? And the thing is with this, guys, when you're trading the trend, you don't need signals. It's when you're trading the bias, and I'll show you shortly, when you're trading the bias or a bias that you need signals, but also when you're trading the trend, you can use the signals in a slightly different way than you use them when you're trading with the bias, with a bias. All right, so let's get to it anyway. Right, so first, step 1, identify trend and bias, where you can quite clearly see on the GU 1 hour there it's uptrending, same on the 4 hour, uptrending. Okay, yes, the 8 hour and the daily coming to it as well, and you'd say it was uptrending more than anything else. Okay, so basically step 1 says on the GU we should be trading up. Right, on the EU it's down. Right, it's down. Look, down on 4 hours, down on the other 2 charts. But the thing is with this, guys, you just got to be sensible here. Look where you are. You know, on all 4 charts on the EU, you're outside BB bands, so there's definitely an upmove coming. You just got to wait for it. Okay. UCAD, again, you've got a 4 hour here. Even though it's an uptrend, this could be a potential bias trade, because this could go down with this 4 hour. Okay, we're not going to focus too much on that. There's a couple of pairs in particular I want to focus on, just to show you how to trend trade on this particular recording. Again, GCAD, look at this, guys. This is a really strong uptrend on all 4 charts. Okay, there's no signals against. Alright, you've got an 8 hour here which could come into it, but basically you use the 1 and 4s for me, and until you get something on the 1 and 4s, then you should be trading the trend. Okay, right. Step 2, I mentioned that you should use these 2 charts, the 30-minute, the 15-minute and the 30-minute, basically to tell you where to take your trades from. You've now got direction on the GU, okay? You've got direction on the GCAD. At the moment there's nothing on the EU, because there's nothing here saying you should take these signals up now. It's too early. There's no number 1 there, and if you're going to take the EU up, then that's what you're looking for, is a number 1. Alright, so basically we'll look at the GU and the GCAD. Alright, okay, right, nice big move, you're on BB bands there, but 15 and 30 minutes, this is now, because you've got your direction which is up, you use the signals to tell you where to trade from, and instead of looking at a 15-minute signal down and saying, oh, I'll take this down, you let this 15-minute signal do its job, and if there was one on the 30-minute as well, you'd let that do its job, and then they'll tell you where to trade from. Okay, they'll tell you where to take the trend trade from. Alright, so basically I would look at a 15-minute signal, and the minimum it's going to do is take price to the 5-minute orange line, which is here. Okay, and then the chances are it's going to, if there's no 30-minute, or if it's not gone red, yellow, or really super, or there's no 1 hour appeared, then you're going to get a bounce back off the 5-minute orange line. Okay, if there's a 30-minute signal, then to me that's going to take price to the 15-minute orange line. Now sometimes, guys, when you have really rigid trends, it doesn't work that way. It works a little less. You might get a 1 hour that only takes price to the 15-minute orange line instead of the 30-minute orange line, and that's just basically because it's such a strong trend. Okay, so yeah, GCAD, we've got a 15 as well, so we'll be looking at the 5-minute orange line, okay, on both the GU and the GCAD, right? So once we've got our direction, which is up on the GCAD and the GU, right, we now know where to trade from. At the moment we're looking for the 5-minute orange lines. Okay, however, if in the meantime, you know, while we're waiting for that, a 30-minute or a 1 hour appears, then it could go further down. Alright, so this is what you have to be aware of. Don't just think, oh, it's gone to the 5-minute orange line, I'll dive in now, and then all of a sudden a 30-minute appears. You've got to check your 1 and 4s, you've got to check your charts just before you take the trade. Okay, so where do we look for trade entries, which is basically step 3. Okay, well, you look at your 5-minute charts, your Heikin-Ashi charts, and you use momentum. Okay, again, we can also look at the fact that momentum correlates with the DX up here. Okay, so let's have a look now. Right, you've still got red momentum on the GCAD here. We're going to approach this orange line here. Same with the GU, we're approaching it here. So now we're looking on the HA charts and the 5-minute charts and for momentum. Okay, that's what we're watching for. Okay, same here on the GCAD. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I don't want to fast forward too much because it will miss the move. Right, now look at this. Look at this on the GU. Right, look at the GCAD. Look at the HA chart there. See, this kind of thing is something you should watch for as well. You see, like, you get a half candle, and it's right in the middle of the last candle on the HA chart. That is like, you know, it's saying it's not going down. Okay, so it could be going up. So we're looking now for one of 3 things: HA chart, HA arrow, momentum, or 5-minute arrow. You're not going to get a 5-minute arrow because there's nothing there telling you now that this is going to go down any further. The 15-minute looks pretty much to have done its job. It might come down, touch this line again a bit more, but to enter the trade we want something on the HA chart. You're pretty much on the HA BB bands on the GU, you're on the orange line on the GCAD. Okay, so not yet. Momentum's against us. You see, the thing is, I know, guys, right, for those that are struggling, you could wait for the 15-minute touches. You could wait for the 15-minute touches, and I'll show you during this. You know, there were I think there were 6 trades in our session off the 15-minute orange lines. You know, I'm going to be using 2 recordings, so it might be a bit hard to highlight them all, but and each one of them on the GU, they went for like 20 pips a piece, and on the GCAD they were slightly more. So if you were looking for just, you know, to be absolute certain, come off the orange line on the 15-minute chart, okay, you were looking at 6 trades at 200 pips, you know, and that takes patience. You've got to kind of wait and wait, even when it looks like price is going up. You've got to ignore it, you know, and wait for the perfect touch on these 30-minute orange lines. Sorry, 15-minute orange lines. Okay, right, so let's have a look at the HA, look at the GU here, guys. Right, on the BB bands, yes, just going through the 5-minute orange line. This happens sometimes, you know, you're getting momentum here. It's probably just not low enough. I mean, if you go in now and you went a couple of pips behind, then so be it, but again, you've nothing on the GCAD, on the HA yet saying go. Sometimes momentum comes before the arrows, guys, so, you know, don't panic, don't think, oh, yeah, you know, I have to wait for an arrow. If momentum's there, then that's basically the driving force. Alright, I don't want to fast forward, I want to try and get to the point where it turns. Now look right on it here. So again, we're looking on the HAs for momentum. Momentum's still red, so we wait. Still a drink. There's still nothing on the EU 1 and 4s to tell you that this, you know, is worth taking, even though it is a green, and greens sometimes do move. I prefer the yellows. I think the yellows are great on the 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward, guys. It's get to the point where it's moving. Right, a bit more, is it? Right, you can see now, look, 15 has took it through the 5 minute orange line. It's actually taken it, or very close to, the 15 minute orange line. So this would be a really good place to trade from. Okay, so we're still actively watching the HA and the 5 minute and the 15 minute and the 30 minute charts. Okay, at the moment there's nothing on the 1 and 4s to tell us that it's going to go down, you know, to the 30 minute orange line or the 15 minute orange line via a 1 hour signal. So, you know, we just need to keep our eyes alert now. EU's looking nice. You see, you're that far outside on the EU, on the daily, the 8 hour, the 4 hour, and there's a big wick here on the EU now, and I think that's that move there. Right, but you don't have to take this. You can wait. You can be certain by ignoring this. Let it come down again, and then if there is a second move, then you take the second move up, right? Because basically, it's not a golden ticket trade at the moment, guys. Right? There might be a 1 hour. I would suspect a 1 hour of maybe a 4 hour will appear at some point. But you can wait for them to be sure. But because you're that far outside, you know, you could take this trade without the 1 hours and 4 hours. But wait for the second move, let it come back down again, and then look, you know, on the HA chart or on the 5 minute chart for something to tell you it's going up. Okay. Right, let's fast forward a bit. Come on, I need to get to that point. Right, look, you're virtually touching the 15 minute orange line here on the GU. GCAD, you're right, in fact, you've touched the 5 minute orange line there. So now, that signal to me, that 15 minute signal, has done its job on the GCAD. Okay, this 15 minute signal's taken price to the 15 minute orange line on the GU. So, now, anything on the HAs, momentum, you know, at the moment the DX is green, you could do with that flipping, and we'll enter the trade. Okay. This is one of the reasons, guys, why I find it very hard to do a live video, by the way, because, you know, the waiting, just have to fill it with nonsense. Yeah, you get green momentum there, so we're in there, 39. Even if it goes against us now, this, same with the GU, what we're in at, 14. So we're in at 39 on the GCAD and 14 on the GU, right? Okay, because of these touches here, 15, and we're getting momentum. So I'm going to fast forward now, guys, because that was the trade entries. We got the momentum. Well, it's shot up here, 14, 16. It's come down a bit, but we're still in. This one, what did I say? 39, and it went to 50. So that was 9 pips, and it might come down a bit before going back up again. So again, I'll fast forward a bit, see how this pans out. Boom, look at that, look. 14 we were in at, 24 it's showing there, so it would have been a 10 pip trade. Easy on the GU. This went to 51.39, that was a 10 pip trade at least. Yes, you've got some, you know, downside again now, but chances are it's going to bounce off the 5 minute orange line again now. Okay. Same again here, although you've got a 30, but they're only reds. These are only reds, guys. This might go a bit lower. Okay, on the 5 minute chart. Alright. Getting back to that EU, I don't know at what point this 1 hour, just pause that 1 hour came. Because we were outside, we've got an 8 hour as well, but look, that was your first move. There was the second move. You see? See the second move, so you know then after the first move, and it's come back down here, okay, you know then with the second move that price has turned, and that, you know, whether you as I say, whether there was a number one at that point, I don't know, but you know that it's turned and that the traders kicked in. Excuse me. Okay, let's go and have a look. Yeah, you see, look, it's just bounced off the 5-minute orange line again. So if you were still in the trade, then you're still in it. If not, you would have had a 10-pip move there. Definitely a 10-pip move up there on the GCAD. I'm not sure what you'd have got here, depending on where you took that, 40 to 52, maybe a 10-pip move there. If you took that, guys, I'm not so sure whether you'd have taken that, because you know it wasn't a number one at that point. But again, now look, red yellows, you see how it's evolved, and that was all because it was way outside on the daily, way outside on the 4 hour, 8 hour, sorry, and the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Okay, so we fast forward again. Again, this time, look, it's just bouncing off the 5-minute orange line. This is the strength of the trend, by the way, guys. If you'd have taken the GCAD and then got out because it had a 15 and a 30, well, look what the 30's done. Taking it to the 15-minute orange line. So that, again, would be another point of entry for you. You know, and as soon as you got, like, maybe this arrow here, even though it went against you again, you know, you had momentum. And look, there's another arrow there, and it's shooting up now. Same with the GU, look, another entry there off the 5-minute. It had come down here, maybe you took it here, maybe you took it here with this red, white, pink. Okay, fast forward. Yeah, look, lovely trade, lovely trade. It came through here, came back down, touched, and that would have been another entry. Alright, and it all started from that 15-minute orange line touch. Okay, that was your entry point. Went up, then it came back down here, so you'd have had a trade in there, and then you've taken a second trade up there. Okay, GCAD, I mean, yeah, again, look at the GCAD. We had that trade up there, came back, and then the second trade there. Alright, and these are big moves, guys. That's gone from I think it's 41 to 62. That's a 22-pip move straight off there. And the GU 16 pips at the moment, more 17 and more. You know, your EU, as I say, the second entry, that was your first weighted. There's your second entry. There's another entry now off the 5-minute orange line, because the number ones have definitely kicked in. Okay, so you had the two setups there. You had the trending trades on the GU and the GCAD, and you had the number ones on the EU. Okay, it's just a matter of learning what's going to happen. Like obviously step one, get direction from your 1 and 4s. Step two, look where to trade, take the trade from, and generally the 15-minute orange line with a trend is very, very good, very strong area to take it from. And if you can be patient enough and wait for it there, as you've seen here with the GU and the GCAD, you have nice, you know, decent sized trades. Okay, it just takes a lot of patience. Alright, let's just move on again. I want to see if there's another entry again. Going back down to the orange 5-minute here. Now look at the GCAD. This 15-minute signal will take price to this 5-minute orange line. There's also a 30 though, so it might take price to the 15-minute orange line. Okay, so at the moment you shouldn't be thinking I'll get in now, you know, off here. You should be thinking I'll wait and see what this signal does. Alright, look, GU's got a 30. That could take price through the 5-minute orange line and maybe down to the 15-minute orange line again. Alright, so let's fast forward and see what happens. Yeah, well, you're on the 5-minute orange line there anyway. There you go, look at the GCAD. Just pierced the orange line on the 5 minutes and then back up with Hikanashi. So you know, you're back with a trend trading off the 5-minute orange line, either with a signal or you know, with momentum of the BB bands, this time on the Hikanashi chart. Okay, and look what happened to GU. Touched 5-minute orange line and woof, right up. Look, Okay, look at the GCAD there. You know, look at the EU. Once the bias had got going, the 15-minute, it went up here, and then it slightly came back down to the 15-minute orange line. There's a small wick on that, and then boom, back up again. Okay, fast forward. Again, you've got this move down now, green, so you shouldn't be thinking of trading this up yet. I personally, if there's another move up here now, on the GU and GCAD, I would be, you know, maybe I'd take it, but then, you know, once we hit this BB band, that might be it. You know, we've got plenty of time till after the hour, but chances are it could come back down now. Okay, yeah, you see it's gone up there. GCAD did as well, but look what you're getting now. This is why it's risky taking this, because if you'd go up here thinking it's going a bit more, and then all of a sudden that was rapid, and that's, you know, how many pips is that down then? 80 to 70. That's a 10-pip move down, rapid. You know, a bit risky, guys. Okay, let's fast forward again. Yeah, they did bounce up again as well off the 15-minute, off the 5-minute orange line. At some point, the UCAD got a number 1. I never noticed that, and you know, came down to the orange line. Look, 15-minute orange line, then it went up again, and then the second move there, down. Definitely had, you know, Heikin-Ashi arrows on that. All right. So step 1, trend and bias. Sort out your direction up here. Okay. Step 2, look where to trade it from. Use the 15-minute and the 30-minute charts, and in particular the 5-minute. It's going to bounce off the 5-minute orange line. The 15-minute charts will tell you anyway. If you're going to wait for the 15-minute orange line bounces, then you need to be patient. Okay, but you also need to consider staying in trades instead of just getting 5 pips. It's a long wait for 5 pips, guys. Okay. Step 3, look on the Heikin-Ashi chart and the 5-minute chart, and for momentum. Okay. Again, if you've got pairs correlated, trade the pairs. 2 pairs. Okay. Right, let's just fast forward. I wanted to see point again. Look, it's come off the 5-minute orange line here, it touched here, and then up again, and this is just the strength of the trend, guys. It doesn't need signals telling it to go up, because the trend is taking it up. Okay, if you get signals against it, then those signals, especially early on, not around happy hour, but especially early on, those signals will tell you where price is going to. The 30-minute signal will probably take price to the 15-minute orange line, and then you should be thinking, right, if there's no 1 hour, I will take this up again with the trend. Okay, let's fast forward again. Yeah, look, beautiful again. Look at it, it's come right up here. It's a gorgeous move, that, guys. Same with the GCAD. This time, look at the GCAD. Look at the GCAD right off the 15-minute orange line. There's a 30-minute, so you know the 30-minute signal's taking the price down to the 15-minute orange line, and then bang, back up with the trend. Okay, now it's happy hour. It's 11 o'clock. I'll just pause that for a big signal up here on the GU 4 hour. Okay, big signals. You've got blues on most time frames now, but in particular that 4 hour would tell me to stop trading it up, guys. Alright, so let's just move on and see what did in fact happen. Yeah, it went up a bit. I'm not bothered about not being in that trade, because that happened. You see, only went up a bit, so you go in here, oops, God, bang. Same with the GCAD, look, bounced off the orange line and then bang. Alright, not sure what happened after that. Yep. Anyway, that was the first one, guys. Okay. Oh, I can't remember this one. Let's go and have a look. Okay, same again. 3 steps. First step, trend or bias. Right, Let's have a look on the GU. I'll just pause it before we go any further. I don't want anything moving on me. Down on the 1 hour. I can now consider that coming down because you've got a lot of signals there. Plus, you know, price is now below the 4 hour orange line on there. Plus, you know, you've got this big red yellow here, but not only that, you've got a daily blue. And if that gets something next to it, then this is going to move. Okay. EU, yeah, again, down. The one thing that there is here is that blue on the last 4 hour candle. Alright, so this could go up. Right, definitely gonna go to this orange line here, maybe a bit higher, and then, you know, it might even touch the 4 hour orange line before it comes down. Okay. UCAD, well, I'll be honest with you, I could not tell you what the trend is there, because you've got a red, yet green, red, green, green, red, green, green, red, and it just looks to have been going between two, you know, points on the 1 hour. 4 hours pretty flat as well. Let's have a look on the 30. Look, this is ranging. Look, down, up, down, up, down. Probably going to go up now. So UCAD, I wouldn't even consider trading that, guys, even though it has a daily. You know, unless that, you know, really kicked in. And maybe when, you know, super, or I mean, you could look at this and say, well, this might be a bounce here, and then it'll come on down again. But I would leave that based on the 1 and 4 hours. I would leave that. Okay. GCAD downtrend, yeah, and a daily down as well. You know, at some point that might go super, but yeah. So again, I am going to trade the GU and the GCAD based on the trend, and the EU I'm going to leave until we either hit this 1 hour orange line here, or I'll keep an eye on the 1 and 4s and see if that blue gets anything next to it there. Okay, so GU EU down. Step 2, let's have a look here. Right, well, the first thing to say, guys, right, is there's no signals. Again, it looks a bit messy on the 15, but you're trending down here, and look what's happened every time you've hit the orange line. Look, there. Okay, you've gone through a bit there, but down again. We're right on it again now, on the 30-minute orange line. EU said we'll leave for now. UCAD I'm not touching. Yeah, bit short there of the orange line, but I think, you know, if this GCAD comes up a bit and touches the 30-minute orange line, if you look what's happened every time price has hit the 30-minute orange line, the trend's kicked in. So that would be, you know, a good point to start looking for down again. Okay, and the thing is, guys, with these trending bounces, I mentioned a bit the other day, the bigger the time frame they're on, the larger the move. Okay, so you're not looking for 5 pips here. Okay, generally what I tend to do is do 2 trades. One will be an open TP and one will be a 10 pip TP. So effectively, when it goes down, I've virtually banked 10 pips straight away, and then I'll leave the other one running. Then if there's a bounce somewhere, and it goes back up a bit, and then it looks maybe on the 5-minute chart, if it bounces back up to the orange line, and then it looks as though it's going to go down again with the trend, then I will take 2 trades again at 10 pips. So I'm getting as much as I can out of each pair. Okay, so we're looking at downs, GU and GCAD off the 30-minute orange lines, these charts. So step 3, Heikin-Ashi 5-minute charts and momentum. Okay, that's what we're looking at now, guys. Alright, so let's just see if I can fast forward a bit. Yeah, you did have the move there. I missed that, no? Yeah, you see it, you had the move there on the GCAD. The GU's not quite gone yet, but okay. Yeah, I need to get back to where that GCAD went from, guys, just to show you. Right, and these would have been perfect in ESA trades, really. If you watch the GCAD here, it's right on the 5-minute BB band. She knows mine. Yeah, this signal's job here. What's this signal's job? To take you to the 15-minute orange line. Okay, you're right on the 15-minute orange line. Okay, I'll pause that again. Something up here, something here, momentum. You should be in the trade because this is now a number 2. Okay, I'll let it run. I'll tell you the exact point of entry for me. GU, very similar. Same again, momentum. I'll be in. Look, it's right on the BB bands, both trades. So come on, give me a flash of red, and I'm in. Don't want to fast forward, guys, because I do miss that move. I know some people have already won this trade because they've taken it right off there. You know, Hugo, BR, one or two of us. But I want them on. And you know, the signs are that it's going now. Look, it's struggling here. It's not going up anymore. Look at it on the 15. There we go. We're in 27. Okay, let's have a look at the GU. 48. So 27.48. Okay, we're in. We've got flashing momentum, as you saw there, and we're in those 2 trades now, based on trending 30-minute orange line bounces. You saw that the 30-minute signal done its job. It took price to the 15-minute orange line here. These are number 2 trades. Look for trend and bounces off BB bands and OL in direction of trend. You could even say that the GCAD is a number 4 because there is a daily. Okay, but basically, you know, at its heart, it's a number 2. I just can't remember the prices are going at. Anyway, you guys will know. I think the GU was 47, was it? And I can't remember. You were up here somewhere, weren't you? Anyway. Okay, anyway, so should we fast forward because we know the prices we're in at? Yeah, you see this GU went against me a bit here, right? Okay, but I'm not panicking because the actual setup is still, you know, a good number 2. GCAD's coming up a bit again. I'm not panicking, and that's why. You see, look, come up and then whack back down. That's basically, you could say that that's the first move, and then we had the second move, and you could have just gone in there. Okay, but as I say, my analysis was correct. It was bouncing off the 30-minute orange line. There was nothing on the 1 and 4s to say it would not bounce off that orange line, and that's the way you should view it. And T keeps mentioning the path of least resistance, and the trend is the path of least resistance. Okay, shall we fast forward because I want to get. Oh, wow. There you go. It doesn't matter what I said we're going at. Look at that. Lovely. GCAD as well. Look, perfect an ESA trade there off the BB band. You could, you know, if you're doing an ESA, that's where you would have got in, and never went against you at any point. And again, look, guys, look, right off the 30-minute orange line. This is bent down a bit, but it was right on the orange line. All right. And again, remember what I said, the bigger the bounce, the bigger the time frame, the bigger the bounce. Okay, let's fast forward. Okay, so you're coming back up now. You see it's gone back up here, gone up to here. Should you take this now? Risky in the sense that if you look along the line on the 15-minute there, each time it's done that, it's gone up. Okay, it could probably come down here. I can't actually see it, but it's gone back up. Alright, plus the fact that you took the initial bounce of the 30-minute, so maybe wait for it to go back to the 30-minute again, and then again check your 1 and 4s. There's nothing against you. then you know you can take it down again. And look, guys, I've only just noticed, but a daily appeared next to that daily blue. All right, let's fast forward. Yeah, you see, basically what they do is they hit that orange line and then they retest back on the way up. This now might come back through here and retest and continue on up a bit more, or we might get the opportunity again to take it down off the 30-minute orange line. The same with the GCAD. All right. The EU, look, we're approaching the orange line on the 1 hour. Seems to have slowed down a bit, judging by the 5 minutes. It might go up a bit more, but then I think we'll have, you know, a trend, a number 2 kick in again. Okay, let's go and have a look. Yeah, well, shot through the orange line because a 4 hour appeared. See it there? Right. But we're right on the BB bands now on the 1 hour. This might touch there. I wouldn't say it's unusual for a red to touch a 4 hour orange line. You usually go super to do that at some point, but it's the BB band on the 1 hour now. I would be focusing on. You're right, virtually on it. GU, did you touch that there? I can't really see. Anyway, now look at the GCAD. This time it's come back to the 15-minute orange line. Momentum's kicked in again, back down again. GU 15-minute there. I like the 30 a bit more because it keeps going off the 30. If you look, guys, you know, it's going through the orange line on the 15, and generally the stronger trends tend to go off the 15-minute orange line. When they're a bit stronger against the trend, they go through the 15-minute orange line, obviously, but then they might come off the 30-minute orange line. All right. So let's fast forward. Yeah, you see it shot back up here. Well, it's come through it, see? It's going back to this 15-minute orange line, and we might get another decent move down. Alright. EU. This again, this is one of them where I call it a first move, guys. If you're waiting for this trend to kick in, going against this, I mean, you get against a 4 hour. Has it done its job? Probably, because it touched the BB band, it came up here price, so you could say it's done its job. But to read as that done its job, then you would say, right, well, this is the first move, so I'm going to ignore the first move, let it bounce, and then if we get, you know, a second move down, then I'll take it, because then I know for sure that that 4 hour signal is finished, is done. You understand? That's basically what I'm trying to get across to people about the 4 hour, about the second move. Alright, and you can see it's going up, look. Right, so let's just fast forward a bit. I don't want to get too far in front now. Yeah, look, see, look, it's come up. Alright, so again, you're still looking at your 1 and 4s, right? You're still a number 2 on the GU, you're still a number 2 or a number 4 on the GCAD, and you're looking for somewhere to trade from. Step 2, again, well, you can see it came off that, it came off the 30-minute again. I was at the 15 to 15 now on it, the second trade, so you know, it's a stronger trend, basically, that's what it's saying, and you had a daily on that as well. Alright, come on then. Yeah, look, somebody's pointing out this 30-minute orange line here in the room. Go forward a bit, get rid of all that. Okay, and then again, obviously, you look on your HA and your 5-minute charts for your entry. Momentum as well. Wow, that was lovely, that was gorgeous on the GCAD, guys. Yeah, beautiful down that. Okay, fast forward. I want to get to the point where we should be looking to take it down, not when it's gone down. Oof, Missed it. Anyway, you can see quite clearly here, this has gone through. See, it's gone through the 15 minute there, so it probably did touch the 30 minute again there, and well, you got momentum. There wasn't anything on the HA unless it was back up here. I didn't actually see it, but you got momentum. EU, look at the EU. I'm just going to go back on that one. Get to the point. Come on, where that 1 hour disappears. Right. So pausing that. EU, you'd had your move up. Here's the 4 hour done. Look, I know it's gone. It's changed. It's gone super, right? But that's because of this move up. So that was your first move. You're now looking at your second. Should you take this yet? Well, I think that's just a bit too strong to take it. So let's run it from here and see what happens. But this would be your second move now. It gets to a point, guys, where you just know what's going to happen sometimes, and you don't even have to look at the charts. You just say, oh yeah, it's going down with the trend this now, and you're in. It's kind of how I am now. So watching you, watching that GU again, like it went through there. If you were in based on that, then no problem. I don't know if there's a HA arrow behind the clock there, but if you're in based on that, no problem. There you go. Pause. Look. That then, the fact that went from red yellow to small red, says that this 1 hour, this number one, because you would say that this signal has done its job, it's touched the BB bands up here, right? So this now becomes a number one down with the trend, a number one with the trend. Unusual, but they do work, as you're going to see in a minute. And you want something here or here with momentum. Okay, there's your momentum. You could be in based on that alone. Might be better to wait for the DX, but some people would have been in on that alone. Basically based on what they saw there, they might not have even waited for the 4 hour to change. If you want to wait, because you're not talking about a 5 pip move, you're talking about a decent move. Okay, so you could wait for a Hakanashi or another 5 minute signal, or the DX green. We'll fast forward because we know. Right, I would have been in now based on what I saw there, because everything suggests that 4 hour signal had touched the BB band here, had done its job. Okay, and we saw it go down, didn't we? So yeah, going 15 minute, 30 minute signals. Right, that signal alone tells me price is coming to here, so I know if I'm in there that I don't have to worry about getting out till this hits this 15 minute orange line. Okay, that's forward. Oops. And there you go, look, come down here and then bounced up, and it's coming down again. There's the bounce, look, that wick. So that, if you considered this your first move, then that going back to the orange line there and that arrow up here, that would be your second entry point. If you look on the UCAD, I've not even looked at the UCAD by the way, but that was your first. Look, it went through, it came back to the orange line, that would be your second entry point. Okay, I'll fast forward, get past that bit of it. Come on, stop mucking about. Oh, I don't know what's going on here, guys. It's charts locked. Right, there we go. And yeah, and your GU again, look at your GU, off the 30-minute orange line. Even if, you know, you did get in there, it took its time to get going, but it's got going. GCAD, again, it's been going off either the 5 or the 15 ever since it started going down, and that's the strength of the number 4 having a daily signal as well. Off the 30 to start, which was here, and then look at this back, bang, 15's all the way down, 5 minutes here, and there's your number 1 now on the EU, after judging that that 4-hour signal that took price to the BB band had done its job. Okay, I know that that's a place where a lot of you, what the hell, tend to, you know, struggle because you're not considering that a signal's done its job. Okay, right, I'll have to get past this, guys. It's doing me headed. Right, I don't know what's happened there, guys. Seriously. So I'll just get to that point there. Okay, I don't know what's happened there, guys. Anyway, you saw, you know, how that worked there. So I'm going to come off that one because obviously there's something wrong with it. Alright, so basically you saw that, you know, and when you've understood what those signals do, you know, once you've got your direction, once you've understood your direction, and then you look at your 15 and your 30, which is basically, as I said, step 2, right? You know where to trade from. That you then have to take that trade. You can't hesitate. There are so many people that wait for the move to get going. It's why Anisa's so successful and BR, they're so successful, because they're taking it off the BB bands and they know that the trade's going to win. You know, so yeah. I mean, if I can find another one, let's have a look and see on here, because that one's corrupt. If we can find you a quick other one. I don't want to do too many, guys, because it'll make the video massive. Okay, let's have a look then. Well, again, step 1. Not particularly brilliant trend on the 1 hour on the GU, and there's a lot of red green candles. 4 hours up. EU's very clear, and look at the bounces where the last bounced off 1 hour orange line. Look at the move. You know, again, that just goes down to show you that, you know, the bigger the time frame, the better the bounce. Okay, but again, you know, your GU, your EU, you would say are up trends. Your UCAD, you would say is a downtrend, but it's a bias because it has a 1 hour signal. Using as a daily signal. Okay, but again, once you've got your worked out number 1, step 1, whether it's a trend or a bias you're trading, and basically all you're looking for then is on your 15, you know, on your 30-minute charts. This one bounced perfectly on the GU here off the 30-minute chart. The only reason that's gone up now is because price has bent that line up. Right, the same with the EU. This one here would have been perfect off the 30-minute orange line. Okay, so yeah, basically that's it. So I don't think, as I say, I don't think you need, you know, to be worried about, oh, is the trend going to kick in, is it not? Basically, the golden ticket stipulates, right, that you trade the trend, which is number 2s and number 4s. You trade the trend unless you have 1 and 4 hours against you, which is the number 1s. All right. As you saw with that last EU trade, if you had a 1 and 4 hour arrows up, but once the 4 hour had done its job, which was the BB bands on the 1 hour chart instead of the orange line, it kept going up, didn't it? That's when you say to yourself, right, the trend might kick in now, so I'm looking for number 2s or number 4s. Okay, so as I say, 3 easy steps, guys. Step 1, is it trend or bias? Step 2, where do I take the trade from? Look at the 15, 30. You can even add the 5 minutes on that if you like. Step 3, look for Heikin-Ashi, something on the Heikin-Ashi chart, on the 5-minute chart, or for momentum. And you know, basically, guys, that is it. That is it. Okay. Whew. That was a bit messy towards the end there, guys, but you saw the trade itself anyway. Okay.